everyone, it's me, Derek the Chocolate Botanist, and I am live in the place showing my face. I am going to be up here briefly. Somebody type in the comments, briefly. We are going to be here briefly. Now, what am I doing briefly? This is obviously somebody's aquarium. I use this as a greenhouse, and I'm going to be cleaning it out and restocking my plants back in here. Now, those of you who are like, well, Derek, you be getting plants in here? I do. I grow all sorts of aeroids beautifully. Like, where is the one that was really like in my hands? It's this one. Like this one. This is somebody's philodendron something, and it was literally growing out of the aquarium. So good. I got it in this cup from, I think, somebody in Atlanta, and it is gorgeous. So I'm going to be just doing some plant stuff. Y'all can ask me questions while I'm doing this. I'm just going to be cleaning this out and going from there. If I don't wave at you or say hey or see your comments, it's because the phone is pointed at an angle, and I can't be really seeing that. But if you are in here, just tell me hey in the comments, and we're going to go for what we know. There's a class I want to do about how you can literally like grow anything within your home. This works so much better in my head. And the biggest thing I want to be able to show people is that if you have some skill set, like basic understandings of a concept, you can be able to do some phenomenal things. I have been able to create growing spaces in my house to grow plants. I'm going to be restocking this. I'm going to be doing some water and answering some questions. We got Josie in the comments. Am I planting into the aquarium? Kind of. I am putting plants in the aquarium, and I'm not like actually planting into it. So they just sit like this. Like this squaniferum is in here. I got this from Gunter's. It's like 2 or 3 plants in here, and they are growing like weeds, like literal weeds. And I love the squaniferum, side note, because look at those petioles, how hairy they are. And sometimes you need a hairy petiole in your life. Hey there, Matt. Speaking of Josie. Josie, are you still here? Josie, I saw, I don't remember his name, but we talked on the phone, you and him and I, and you missed it that day. And his name is like Asian, Aquarius, Isaiah, Jonathan. So, yeah. Somebody asked, do I close the top? Not in this one. In the other one, I actually started closing the top. In this one, I don't, because the plants grow so tall. Like this one, like you see how it's sitting in here? By the time I put a top up here in a week or two, it just grows up. And I stuffed this so full of plants, the humidity stays up. Hairy petioles are for the people. Sometimes you need a thick hairy petiole in your face in the morning. Anywho, so what am I doing? The first thing I'm doing is cleaning this out. Why am I cleaning this out? Because there's dirt and debris on the bottom of this aquarium. Somebody say the bottom. The last thing you want is a dirty bottom, okay? Unless you like that type of thing. I typically don't. So you get some dirt out. I usually use a shop vac, but that's loud, and we're recording, okay? So we're not going to be loud. We got dill pickles in the house? My God. So I'm just going to scoop this out, and this is, again, like dirt and debris from the pots. I recycle all of this into my other planters. And by the way, it's Black History Month. Happy Black History Month. Can we say that in the comments? Can those of you who may not be black this Black History Month do me a solid? Can you wish a black person Happy Black History Month? Can we stand in solidarity as Black History Month is trying to be erased from the country? Like celebrating Black history is an assault on the senses. I just don't get it. So I'm scooping up all this dirt and debris again because this could be an area where insects can breed and habitate, right? Now, I will spray insecticides or pesticides within this place, but I try not to. Now, how do I have this set up to really grow plants? I'll go into that on another live, right? But I'm just going to be clearing this out and filling this back up. I typically try to have the plants in a certain arrangement, but since I had to move them all out because You know, I'm doing this live. I'm just gonna put them back in as I can. Happy Black History Month. Thank you for that. Happy Black History Month. Everybody, please type in Happy Black History Month. We definitely want clean bottoms. We one day have it all year round. Look, we technically do have Black History all year round. I know I celebrate. I celebrate all year round. Some other people may not, but I do. So now that I swept this up, in the past I used to be real anal about cleaning this out. Like I would pull it out, I would vacuum, wipe the inside with like an orange vinegar alcohol mixture, like sanitizer peroxide. But now I don't do all of that because I don't really have many pests I should say, outside of fungus gnats, and I don't have many disease issues. So I'm just gonna water. This water is a mix of some fertilizers from Arbor, ARBER, Impello, some micro bio situations from them. I'm just going to turn this way. And some nitrogen, like bat guano, that I put together, and I watered it down. I've had it together for a while. Thank you all for the Happy Black History Month. We love all of that. Again, we celebrate all year. How do I celebrate all year? I celebrate being back all year, and I celebrate black people all year. And I let people know about black folks all year long. Now, again, I'm only going to be here for a little bit. I heard the Grammys are coming on or something, so I'm not going to be here that long. So I'm just going to show off some plants while I water. These plants, for the person who's like, why don't you close the top? This is only so tall. So these leaves, you see the scorch? Typically, I have a hat rack on top of this, and my LEDs are right here. This has been like right in my LEDs. Like, if I may have like had some ingenuity, maybe I would build a taller doodad to keep them up. But because I don't, and I just don't feel like it, I'm going to eventually prop this. I've tried before. I told y'all the prop box I was trying to do. I tried before and failed, but this scorch is just dead material that got overexcited with light. Too much light. Too much! So I'm watering everybody, and because I'm watering over the aquarium, all this extra liquid is just sitting here at the bottom, which is okay because it'll be evaporated by the morning. Again, those of you who are checking in, this is one of my greenhouse setups indoors. Is that Kiki? Hey, Kiki! Again, y'all can ask me questions while y'all are here. Throw them in the question box. Just when you come in, say Happy Black History Month if you haven't already. These are Aeroids. These are in the Aeroaceae family. And these are plants that are near and dear to our hearts, like philodendrons, like pothos, like in my hand here, like rhydopteras, like, what's the other one? Like anything. This one was kind of blooming, but I feel like I missed the watering. This is the other reason I took all this stuff out. I needed to personally water everybody. Because of how I have this set up, I can fill this up with water. Like fill it all the way up and then let everybody bottom drink. But I sometimes prefer just to kind of wrench them at the bottom. Remember, if you're coming in here, we got somebody who's doing a request. Let's see what this says here. View request. View request. Hopefully I don't regret this. I accepted it. Do you have any suggestions for maintaining my sandy soil? Soil gets a lot of sand in it. Maintaining sandy soil. My soil gets a lot of sand and don't worry about it not being the best for vegetables. So are you using, this is for Matt. And hey, Plasmodesmata. Matt, are you growing outdoors in sandy soil, or are you growing indoors in a sandy mix? I'm assuming you're saying outdoors because I feel like you're somewhere here in the Carolinas. I have not had to grow in a sandy outdoor soil in quite a long time. So if I was you and you was me, and I'm again assuming, I'm taking a big guess, and I'm assuming you're growing outside, then what I would do is I would get some compost. That compost would be somebody's organic matter that I would try to get to mix into my soil. You live near the beach. So I'm also from near a beach. I'm from New Bern. So when you are like talking about growing, he says as he almost knocks down everything. Hold on a second, y'all. Y'all hold on a second. There we go. So it would be compost. Now, compost or wood chips, some organic material that could break down, would help to um, not necessarily, I mean, it would build up your soil, but it would literally take up space. Like you would have more organic material per parts of per million than sand. And if you can get your compost from your local, like your city, locally, or from like a compost dump, hey, Corey McFall, that would be even more doperific. Um, there's an organization called Compost Now, and I feel like they give to nonprofits, but they probably, y'all look at this beauty, they probably would give to regular people, maybe. But either way, see if you can get somebody's good compost as cheap as you can, or make your own. Like start making your bokashi bins indoors, get some vermicomposting going on, get a good healthy mix of stuff going, and go from there. I hope that answers your question. For those of you who are wondering, again, I'm re-watering my plants and putting it back in here. Some people will usually use that time to clear off dead leaf material. I don't always do that, just because I'm lazy. So again, I'm just putting plants back in here and watering. This is where y'all could ask questions. I wish I could have some music playing while I was doing this, but y'all know how funny Instagram can be, especially in this political climate. So look at these. And some of these plants were growing like literal wildflowers. I'm going to put that back in here. They were growing like literal wildflowers, but I fell off on my watering. Because I fell off on my watering, they've been a little stunted. And again, I'm watering with a mix of like some microbes, some beneficial microbes, some bat guano, maybe seagull guano, somebody's guano, and a couple of fertilizers that I had laying around. And I use this mix to give my plants a little pick me up, a little boosty boost. And for those of you who are really like sick soaking it in, like the soil is, I do water during the winter. I fertilize during the winter. There we go. I need these leaves to stay up. I might have to. I don't think I can actually cut this one though. That's a lot of text there. I'm gonna have to look at that in a second. Let's see if I can cut this. I actually can. I think I can make a cut right here. So I think I have my scissors somewhere near me. I'm gonna grab those while I read that question. It's a cruel summer. Na, na, na. Do, 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 do. My great grandma always put her kitchen scraps right into the soil in the yard. She grew butternut squash that I swear were almost as long as my arm. So look, when you are burying your food scraps, you can definitely do just that. You can bury them beside your soil, and over time they will break down. But you can also do what's called bokashi, where you give them a kind of a quick help. You are basically like, you know how like when you're cooking, sometimes you'll preheat the oven, you'll defrost your chicken. Your parents say, defrost that chicken before I get home, and you give them that help and leave it out. Try to do this without cutting my hand. There we go. Didn't want to cut that leaf, but I guess I couldn't avoid it. This is sad. I wish I could preserve these leaves. Look at that. But let's see. So I feel like these are just hairs and not roots. But I'm gonna try to propagate this node right there. But you can do that, but you can also, again, give those things help. And that help is literally just like composting them beforehand. Sometimes if you bury your food scraps, you risk a pest coming in and saying, ooh, look at what this human did for me. They left me these eggshells and banana peels and other things buried in the soil. And that pest could be a mouse. That pest could be, there's no more nodes on this stem. There is a small one. I don't want to be too greedy. Just going to leave that like that. That pest could be anything that's like, hey, look at what they did for me. So we got to be careful when we're doing the things. That was a beautiful comment, though. Speaking of comments, I seem to not always be able to repot things without knocking something onto the floor. So this is a plant that I got from Atlanta a couple of years ago, and I wish I remembered what it was, but it's beautiful. Um, Again, for those of you just coming in, make sure you say Happy Black History Month. We are celebrating all month long, all year long, but we are in the place showing our face. But this plant is looking a little worse for wear. Why is it looking worse for wear? You see that? This soil level is getting down because Derek uses a high hand when I'm watering. I'll be splashing like this, boom, dirt goes out, soil goes out. It looks a little rough. So I'm just going to add a little bit more to it. And luckily enough, I have some that is from plants that went on to grow with Jesus. Hallelujah. And again, this is your time. You can watch me if you want and just sit there amazed, or you can ask me your questions. And those of you see what it looks like now. Boom, boom. All I needed was one pot. And I'm just going to hope for the best with that. So that you can make your comments, your questions, your concerns. I'm just watering my plants and rearranging them in here. I want them to be able to be like crowded on each other, but I also want them to have enough space to grow and reach light. So I'm trying to kind of make an understory, but I'm doing it very peculiarly. Let's bring this one over. So this is how good this system works up. These two plants have grown together, like literally this philodendron or pothos has grown into this philodendron Jose Bueno's pot. I've had this happen a couple times. I also have this Jose Bueno that's just been like overexcited. So what am I going to do? I'm going to cut this vine. I don't want to do it, but I'm going to have to because I want these plants to be separate. Okay? They are trying to be together like Lynn Whitfield and Martin Lawrence in that one movie in the 90s. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Is it something I can remember seeing that movie in the theaters? So I made a cut, and it's still in here. Um, it has a root in here that's taking hold. I wonder if I can show it to you. So y'all see that root that's taking hold? Look at that there. It is so dope. So I'm just going to water this real quick. And we are almost to the end of the 20 minutes I wanted to be up here for. I wanted to show you how I put this back together, but it looks like I won't. Y'all got any other questions for me before I hop off of here? It can be plant science related. It can be pretty much related to anything as long as you're respectful. Okay, rearrange that. Grab you right there. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. Those of you who came to see me rearrange my plants, thank you. They're so beautiful, aren't they? And remember, you can grow your plants in any space. Turn this to my face. You can grow your plants in any space. You can be able, this is how some of you look at me. Some of you are like, hey, Mr. Derek. Y'all are such small people. Look at how short y'all are. Y'all are actually, I've actually made y'all too tall. Some of y'all are actually down here. Y'all be like, hey, and I'll be like, hey, little guy, little girl, little person, gender non-binary, look at you, so little. I'm done with that. But I'm just gonna keep doing these plants, play some music, vibe. Y'all have a great night and a pleasant tomorrow. Happy Black History Month. Keep on keeping on.